Let's get confirmation that we're live. Okay.
Public hearing is now open. Comments regarding ordinance number 19-14 and/or ordinance number 19-15 only, accepted via telephone at 843-398-4469, beginning at 5:50 p.m. until public hearing is closed. Now, open for discussion for ordinance number 1914, an ordinary authorizing pursuant to Chapter 44 of Title 12, South Carolina Code of Laws, 1976, as amended, the execution and delivery of a fee agreement between Darlington County, South Carolina, and Georgia Pacific Consumer Operations, LLC, and certain affiliates and matters relating thereto. This is the third reading.
If you would give us, let's give a 15-second pause to make sure nobody calls in on this one.
Okay.
All right, we had no submitted comments and no phone calls for public hearing of 19-14.
Being no calls or comments received, I declare that ordinance number 1914 is closed. Ordinance number 1915 open. Ordinance number 1915, an ordinance approving amendment to the agreement for development of a joint county industrial business park by and between Darlington County, South Carolina, and Lee County, South Carolina, and others matters relating thereto. Third reading.
Again, if we'll give a 15-second pause, so sure no one's calling in at this time. We had no submitted comments for a public hearing on ordinance 1915, nor any phone calls.
Being that no written or calls on ordinance number 1915 were received, I declare ordinance number 1915 closed. I close the public hearing session. I now call to order meeting of April 6, 2020. Mr. Douglas, if you would lead us in the invocation, and Mr. Flowers, please.
Our Father, which art in heaven, most holy and everlasting Father. Father God, we all want to thank you, O Lord, for last night's rest and the frame, touch, and waking and love this morning. And Father, we just want to thank you, O Lord, for starting us on a new day and closing now right now. And we're asking you today, O Lord, come to us, O God. Touch each and every one of us, O Lord. Give us all some strength, O Lord, so that we can do the things that you want us to do and fight this virus. And Father God, we ask you today, O Lord, to go with us wherever it is, O Lord. Father, we're asking you to touch them, O Lord. Give them some strength and foresight of getting well and doing better. And Father God, we're asking you today, O Lord, to lead us and guide us in this meeting. In your name's sake, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Due to the changes in our meeting structure, if you will allow me, I have a written statement I'd like to read. Good evening. Our nation, state, and county have seen substantial changes in disruption in daily routines and process over the last several weeks, and the expectation is that these disruptions and changes will continue for weeks to come. Because of the COVID-19 threat, Darlington County government operations have been modified. Darlington County Council declared a state of emergency on March 17, 2020. Our county council meetings tonight have also had changes in procedures. Due to limited space, the need to maintain the recommended social distancing, additional screening for entering the emergency operations center room, which is the county council chambers, and the safety of the public, council and staff, the rooms reach maximum capacity with county council and required staff. This meeting was announced to the public and media with live streaming access to all those who wish to view and or attend the meeting. Public comments were accepted as published prior to the meeting. We conducted a public hearing tonight with access for anyone to comment on ordinances for public hearing prior to and during the public hearing as published with the meeting agenda. Additionally, anyone present on site tonight for the meeting have been given the opportunity to attend via live streaming, viewing set up with social distancing guidelines observed. The Darlington County website has information about modified county government operations can be accessed at www.darcossc.com. Darlington County also has information line that was established back on March 18, 2020 to answer questions and assist individuals with information about Darlington County government operations. That number is 843-398-4469. The line is available Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., except county observed holidays. Thank you. Citizens' comments?
None were submitted.
Being done, submitted, move on. Next item, 5, consent agenda. There were no consent items. So 6, approval of minutes.
Move the approval of minutes of public hearing and regular meeting of March 2nd.
Have a motion to approve 6A and 6B. Is there a second?
Second.
Received a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Mr. Kilgore, would you read 7A, please?
Well, we haven't done 6B, I didn't.
So I thought you included both, I'm sorry.
No, sir.
All right.
I move the approval of the minutes of the emergency meeting of March 17th.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right, ordinance number 7A, ordinance number 1914, an ordinance authorizing payment, pursuant to chapter 44 of Title 12, South Carolina Code of Laws, 1976 as amended, the execution and delivery of a fee agreement between Darlington County, South Carolina, and Georgia Pacific Consumer Operations, LLC, and certain affiliates and matters retaining thereof. This is third reading. I move the approval of third reading.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Motion of the ordinance approved. Mr. Thomas, would you read 7B, please?
7B, ordinance number 19-15. An ordinance approving an amendment to the agreement for development of a joint county industrial and business park by and between Darlington County, South Carolina, and Lee County, South Carolina, and other matters relating thereto. Third reading. Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 7C, ordinance number 20-01, updated comprehensive plan as amended.
Motion to carry over.
Motion to carry over.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Flowers, 7D.
Ordinance number 2002, an ordinance to make appropriations for ordinary county purposes for Darlington County for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021, and to provide for the expenditures and revenues for the payment thereof. First reading.
No action necessary. Mr. Coker, 7E.
Ordinance number 2003, an ordinance to designate that agency of the county for alcohol and drug abuse planning for programs and to make appropriations pursuant to section 62740B and 1233-245B and C of the 1976 Code of Laws of South Carolina as amended for Darlington County for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending July 30, 2020. First reading.
Mr. Davis, 7F.
7F, an emergency ordinance number 20E2, an emergency ordinance providing for the conduct of public meetings by the means of electronic equipment and the like of the Center for the Disease Control Prevention, CDC. Recommendation during the COVID-19 emergency, page 159, emergency ordinance 20E2.
Move for approval of emergency ordinance number 20-E2.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is resolution number 712. I'll read the proclamation for the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 12th to 18th, year 2020. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or other medical services, and whereas when emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, paramedics is critical to the protection of life, preservation of property, and whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from the citizens who telephone the Darlington County Emergency Communication Service, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information and ensuring their safety, and whereas public safety telecommunicators of the Darlington County E911 have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients, and whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the governing body of Darlington County, South Carolina, the Darlington County Council, to hereby proclaim the week of April 12th through 18th, 2020 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Darlington County in honor of the men and women with whose diligence and professionalism keep our country and citizens safe. In witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand on the 6th day of April 2020. Motion to accept the resolution. Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution accepted. Committee reports. There are none. The other items. Administrative update.
I'll go over just a couple things with you real quick. Just so the public is fully aware, I know y'all are aware, but this emergency ordinance that you just passed, emergency ordinance 20-E2, will give y'all the ability to do electronic meetings if necessary when we move into May, especially if this situation with the COVID-19 threat continues and it's not best for you to be coming back to meet in person. So that option is available. Many other counties and cities have done this. So that option's there. The exact details of how that will carry out, we will get out to y'all, and certainly, just like with every meeting agenda and information, the clerk will get all that published to the public so they know how to get there. I will mention tonight, y'all are being live streamed on a special Facebook page that was set up for this purpose, to live stream county council meetings. That page will not be monitored. It is solely to live stream the meeting, and then the clerk will publish this video on your county council page, which is part of the Darlington County website, www.darcosc.com. Also on that page is an alert at the top of that page that says COVID-19 emergency, and if citizens click there, they can find a handout that gives them details of who to contact in numerous different departments whether that be the treasurer, the auditor, the clerk of court, assessor, all the county auditor, departments and public officials' offices are listed there so that they can contact those offices to receive services during this time. And the courthouse has been under restricted access for weeks now, and going, as of Thursday morning, it will be accessed by appointment only for the public. We have been bringing the public in downstairs. We may have 10 or 15 people in that lobby at one time, and under the current threat and recommendations by the CDC, it's not best to continue to operate that way. So entering the courthouse will be by appointment only, beginning Thursday morning with business that morning. But all the information is there published of how to get in touch with different departments. It'll be available if someone walks up to the courthouse. It may be as simple as just returning to their car, making a phone call, getting the appointment to come in and handle matters. So Darlington County is open for business, but under the threat, we're doing things in a restricted manner. Y'all also have a copy of that, so in case you need to point someone in the right direction, you have that information as well. Currently, if I do not misquote, there are 20 active COVID-19 cases in Darlington County within the last 2 weeks, and a total of 27 cases have been accounted for since the beginning of testing here weeks ago. We expect that number to rise as we go forward. I believe DHEC has us peaking somewhere around the last week of April, the first week of May. So we will have to monitor those numbers closely. The Emergency Operations Center is operational and monitoring the situation. There is a phone number if people want to call concerning Darlington County operations. Now, this number will not answer questions about the coronavirus and what you should do or the disease process. We would point you to the South Carolina DHEC website and number for that, or we would point you to the Centers for Disease Control for that. However, if you need to know, how do I get a building permit right now? How do I pay my taxes right now? This number would work for that, to get you that information. And again, that number is 843-398-4469. The live streaming tonight's been a project of our IT contractor, Rusco Networks, plus also Mr. Fernandez from the library, Darlington County Library Systems IT Department has been working with them to make this happen. And they'll be working together in the future to help us with these needs electronically as we go forward. That's about all I have in summary, unless y'all have specific questions or details you'd like to know.
In lieu of the information that's come forward as far as the peak time, we have our next scheduled meeting May 4th, which will be right in the middle of that peak. I move to cancel the May 4th meeting and give the county administrator and the chairman discretion to reschedule the May meeting.
There's a motion on the floor to authorize the county administrator the flexibility with May schedule. You have a second? Any discussion? Yeah, you have a second. Discussion?
I have a question.
All right.
Mr. County Administrator, Mr. Charles, are we still gonna have that meeting Wednesday morning?
No, you will not have the budget workshop Wednesday. No, that meeting has been canceled, yes.
Please have a motion on the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call for the question.
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion made and second to give the county administrator flexibility with May meeting. Council comments, Mr. Kilgo?
Thank you, sir. I'll make it brief. Of course, all of us are concerned for our residents of Darlington County, of the United States, South Carolina, the United States, and across the world during this pandemic. But it is a special week. So to my Jewish friends, Passover is coming up in a couple of days, and to my Christian friends, Good Friday is this Friday and Easter is on Sunday, and I ask God's grace on all of us. Thank you.
I just want to, I'm sure as a collective whole, we want to express our appreciation for all the doctors and nurses and paramedics and firefighters and police officers that are stressed during this time. I can't imagine having to go to work and worry about it, and come home with your family and have to live apart from them in some instances. They're true heroes. That's all I have.
Okay.
Well, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to pray. It's praying time. I don't care where you is, what your religion is. It's prayer time. Everybody needs to take care of everybody. We're all in this together. COVID-19 is really bad. Take heed of what your local, your state government is saying. If you got to stay home, stay home. But to us that have to get out here and work, first responders, policemen, myself, truck drivers, FedEx, UPS, United States Postal Service, even your gas station, Walmart, Roses, whoever is open, don't forget, thank them. Because without them, you would have whatever you need while you're at home. Don't go to these stores and get mad because they're doing the best they can. Stuff is limited. When you got somebody rolling out 20 bags of ice or 20 bags of toilet paper, but you got grandma over here and she ain't got nothing. Be mindful of your neighbor. Think about it. That might be your grandma. That might be your mother. Take heed. But just be careful and take care of one another. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Douglas?
The only thing I got to say, I'm praying that we get some hot days, maybe this thing will go.
Tom?
I just like to say, in the midst of the crisis, just don't forget about your neighbors, and of course, echoing what Mr. Davis has said. You know, some way or another, we're gonna need one another, and especially represent the county, the state. We just need to kind of help where help is needed, because there's a lot out there, and I just like to utter for everybody to be safe, and just don't forget about our people locally here, because I know those calls come in all the time, and they do an excellent job. Just kind of remember each other, and I hope we'll be back together soon so we can get our business on the way, because I do have some projects that I like to put in, but I appreciate everybody working with each other, because like I say, there is no I in team, so we're a good team. Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to echo the sentiments that have been said here, and just particularly our first responders, the medical groups. We're very fortunate in our area that we have a regional hospital in Florence, we have a hospital in Hartsville. I just saw statistics that over 50% of the counties in the nation don't even have a hospital. So we're blessed, but our medical teams are being worked like they've never seen before. So this is a strange time for all of us, but I think it's time to be mindful of, as Mr. Davis said, and be kind. We're all in this together, and the only way we're going to get through this together. But on another item, I'd like to recognize Mr. Coker, because we have to keep our distance. I can't shake a hand, but Mr. Coker has celebrated his 5th year, and we'd like to thank you for your 5 years of service and willing to serve.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Charlie Brown won his first baseball game today. So that's something to be thankful for.
If no other comments,
Move we adjourn.
have a motion, and a second.
Second.
Motion carried, adjourned. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Being adjourned.
Walk off.